It's a very good afternoon, everyone, from magnificent Vancouver. And the small matter of qualification for the 2020 Olympic Games. We are live from Rutledge Field in West Vancouver, the home of West Vancouver Field Hockey Club. And it is still well and truly up for grabs as Canada look to overturn a 5-3 scoreline against Ireland, who are looking to qualify for just their 5th ever Olympic Games. Drama aplenty yesterday here. Canada perhaps guilty of feeling the nerves, perhaps. According to their coach, Paul Bundy, second best for most of the first 60 minutes. They have to make up 2 goals to stand any chance of going to Tokyo. So this is how it has all unfolded already today. The Netherlands impressive, 6-1 against Pakistan. And the Netherlands on their way to Tokyo. Who will be joining them from this one? So yesterday we had it all. Great drama as Ireland hit the front first through Cargo. Canada answering back, and the potency of penalty corners from Johnston and also from Keegan Pereira. But Ireland weren't to be outclassed in the penalty corner department through O'Donoghue. Murray getting in on the act also. And how about this from Pereira again? Ireland just would not sit back. And it was Murray on target once more. And O'Donoghue doing what he does best. And Ireland have the advantage coming into this one. But they'll be aware of Canada coming at them from the off, I'm sure. First goal in this one, you feel absolutely vital to the overall contest.
It's nice to have a 2-goal lead going into the second game, there's no doubt about that, but I still think there's still a lot to play for. It's at halfway point. Canada will come out and sure give us a very difficult game today, so we'll need to produce the same type of performance. Make sure our defence is good, that we give nothing soft away, that we start the game very well, and just believe in our attacking ability.
Morale's been really good, the energy's been good. We recognised yesterday we didn't have our best game, and surprisingly we didn't defend very well, which is normally a staple within our culture. So it was a lot of really easy things to fix in our presentation and our review. So the guys are actually pretty pumped. You know, we scored 3 goals against a good team, and we think we can do it again today. There was a lot of really loose goals that Ireland scored, and they were able to penetrate into our circle really, really easily, which is not within our culture or within the style of play that we normally play. So if we can shut down those moments and, you know, put their goalkeeper under a lot of pressure and get shots on target, I think we're going to win this game today.
So there are the thoughts from both coaches and how they will approach this second match with so much at stake. Half the job done yesterday for Ireland. They know also that they can be better. 5 goals scored, more circle entries, and a constant threat in attack, but Canada still scored 3 goals against them. And the ultimate prize for Ireland is just 60 minutes away. For Canada, they're looking for back-to-back appearances at an Olympic Games for the first time since the 1980s in 84 and 88. They need a fast start, and perhaps the first goal to raise an element of doubt perhaps into the minds of their visitors this afternoon. And a fine ovation for both teams. So before we get underway, we will have the national anthems of both Canada and Ireland. The Olympics are calling for Ireland, and they'll be hoping to answer that call here today. Next up, O Canada. Good to see the James Wallace fan club in. Great support from both. Two umpires today, Gareth Greenfield and Ben Gurnton of Germany. Greenfield was in the box yesterday on video duty. Diego Barbas in the box today. Let's have a look at the teams for you then. We will start with Ireland. Shane O'Donoghue and Sean Murray scored 2 goals apiece yesterday. Chris Cargo scoring the opener. O'Donoghue was named as the player of the match yesterday as well. It's quality at the penalty corner for all to see. Ireland's all-time top scorer. As for Canada, here are the starting players led by Scott Tupper, who says the first goal, if they can get it, it's game on. Keegan Pereira is someone who can really cause Ireland some problems today. Gordon Johnston, their #1 threat from penalty corners. On a perfect day here in West Vancouver. And we're all set and ready to go. How big a game is this? Mark Tumilty is ready. And Canada are ready as well. And we are underway in Vancouver. Who goes to the Tokyo Olympics next year? The biggest game for many of these players in their careers. And Ireland with a 2-goal advantage at 5-3 after the first match. As it's fist across, Ireland looking to get off to a really good start. They are a threat down this right side, most definitely. That'll be something that I'm sure Canada will be looking at as the game goes on today, to be sure of the threat from the likes of Peter Carruth and also from Tim Cross, both offering great widths. Canada get a long corner here. Into the circle he goes, hoping for a decision. And in the end, Ireland in the green today. Familiar emerald colour instead of the white that they played in yesterday.
Just make sure you're fast, Canada.
Here is Cross. Into the corner. It was near to 2,000 here yesterday. It is another packed house. The shadows of the Cyprus Provincial Park Mountains. Canada need a good start. It's a good turn here from Brendan Bissett. To the circle they go, it's just behind Bissett. Ireland can't deal with it away yet. Throws and a penalty corner, and they'll take that in the early stages. Really fast start from the Canadians. And the chance for Johnston to maybe have the first blast. Great skills. In fact, it was Fitzpatrick, wasn't it? Taking it on himself, James Kirkpatrick. He's slowly approaching 100 caps for his country. Been in the team since 2010. Man in the mask waits. In the end, it's blocked, and then the save is made, and comes to nothing in the end. It was Tupper who had the flick. Frantic start. David Fitzgerald in goal for Ireland after the injury for Davy Hart, keeping him out. Huge blow to Ireland as well. Inspirational that he is. He's only just come back from injury. Also, twice voted goalkeeper of the year. Ireland will have known that Canada were going to come right at them from the very off. Here is Brad Logan. Just happy to have some possession and try and dictate things at their own speed. Skills from Kirkpatrick. He's had a strong start. Logan has a look, has to go back to just inside his own half. Crest down the line. Is there a block off there, an illegal block off, not according to Gareth Greenfield. And to represent both the Republic and Northern Ireland. It was a slow start in this one yesterday, but how we came alive once Cargo scored. But this is cross for Ireland. Into the circle he goes. Oh, what a save! What a save from Anthony Kindler. Remarkable goalkeeping. Incredible reactions to keep Ireland out. Their first sight for a goal. Tight to that baseline. Canada can survive. Eugene McGee will be calling it a day if they fail to get to Tokyo, he says. Although we're just short of 300 caps, he wants to try and reach that particular landmark. McGee, who missed the Euros as he was actually unable to juggle playing international hockey and his work as well. And work and hockey balance can be a struggle for many players. As Ireland threaten here, oh, and they've got it! Ideal start for Ireland. And Canada really have it all to do now. And the gap is 3 that they have to make up. Into the circle, and it is an assured finish. is terrific from John McKee. Just what they were looking for, Ireland, and they've quieted it all down here. John McKee with the goal. Score against the French in recent warm-ups as well, John McKee. That's the call-up for those warm-up matches, his first appearances since July 18, as Canada look to try and respond. It's taken them 6 minutes, Ireland. Still have plenty to do, John McKee, from a fairly tight angle as well. Scott Tupper, the Canadian captain, was saying that there was simply no panic coming into this game today. It's just half-time. I thought they were just one goal away from being back in this thing. Now they've got it all to do. They had a bright start, but they had been warned, hadn't they, by Ireland. Some slack defending. But Anthony Kindler had made a stunning save. Taken down here by Robson. Overlapping option. Canada looking to bring it away from Hubsway through Johnston. That's really good from him. And quickly forward. That'll be a penalty corner. That was as cynical as you come. And Gareth Greenfield just opening up his arms, saying, what else can I give here? It's unlucky from John Jackson. It could have led to more for Canada. It's the reason why the corner has been given. Oliver Schofield coming across as the injector. Been amongst the team since 2014. He scored 5 goals at the recent Pan Am Games. He injects. It's another save. Johnston denied. And it goes again. It's a right scramble, and Ireland can breathe again. Both goalkeepers have made very important contributions so far. Oh. Canada get the decision, the free hit. Oh. Taken a deflection there as the cross was played in. We'll get another view of that save from Fitzgerald. The next break of play.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Canada restart. It's the circle he goes. And Ireland are able to just calm things down now. Big moment in the match in the early stages. Looking to guard things here is Cargo. It's Froese, part of the Rio Olympic squad. Mess up a stick and goes against Canada. It's been a breathless start, hasn't it? It was always going to be, really, with Canada having to make up some ground. Chases on now for Wallace. Starting to hold things up. Can he keep it in play? He's actually gone against him. Was more into ice hockey, he said, when he was a lot younger. James Wallace, before field hockey, was able to grab him and pull him in. Only made his debut last year. He was member of the World Cup squad last year as well, James Wallace. Here's McKee, the goal scorer already for Ireland. Now Lee Cole. Courage to come forward. Cole. Stuck under his feet a little bit there. He's told to leave it by Cole.
Area before. You want to take it or should I take it? Okay.
Sun is certainly shining down on Ireland here in Vancouver at the moment.
Just outside here, guys.
We've already seen success for the Netherlands today. They absolutely tore apart Pakistan in Amsterdam. Ireland are just starting to get a grip on things. Reach of Peter Courage. Getting his chance amongst the national team again after injuries. He thought his days in the team were done. He featured against the French in warm-ups. His first appearances in 15 months. To the corner he goes. Here's Tupper. Man from Vancouver. It's part of the Pan Am winning side back in 2007 it was. And still he goes on. Great experience that he brings to the table. He's going to get the loose ball here. Ireland get it away, and the support more in hope than anything else. They could actually get a decision going their way. Well, this is a referral.
Okay, Canada are just looking for a foot inside the circle.
Simple ask as to whether there is a foot in the circle.
Can you come back with the right one?
It's just on time when we get started. Yeah, there's
More.
no time.
Come back more. Yes, with the red.
There we go. Was there a foot in here somewhere?
Decision coming.
Absolute carnage that was inside the circle.
He should be checking everything here.
I have a decision for you. It's a penalty corner.
There you have it. That was a foot.
There's no clear advantage on that.
Guys,
No,
that's not a
no,
clear
there's not.
advantage, so
No, it's
therefore
not because it's a referral. So,
Canada keep that referral as well. They need a goal. They could do with one just before the end of this first quarter.
Hal, the whistle.
We're all set. There's the trap. It is to be Tupper. Crossing the way, come off his foot. Very quick off the line, wasn't it?
Canada, come on. Come on. Yeah, straight in.
Scored 7 times at the Pan Ams this year, including the final 6 of those coming as penalty corners for Scott Tupper. There's the trap. It's Johnston this time. It's kept out again by Fitzgerald. Defying Canada. It's a second big stop. Johnston, who can be so reliable. Able to get the precision with his flick. At the scares, Ireland, but still they maintain their lead.
Sideline.
Being in from the sideline.
Long corner. My D. Gareth.
Yep.
You have my D.
Cross going all the way back to halfway. On occasions, Canada have been fairly open at the back. An example of that for the goal. Also the save that Kindler had to make just before that. And as Paul Bundy has been talking about, how they rely on their defensive structure and philosophy, something that's been ingrained into the culture of Canadian hockey. Canada can try and bring it away here through Gabriel Hogarthia. Tim Cross. The restart with the free hit. Didn't really get the right amount of connection on his attempted cross into the circle. They've won it back here though, Ireland. A little fortunate there, Canada. And in their time at Rio 2016, they finished 11th. They've never bettered 9th at an Olympic Games. And at the moment, it is Ireland who are on their way to the Tokyo Olympics. Extending the lead to 6-3 on aggregate. That one goal so far from John McKee at the Green Machine in control of the overall tie. Packed house again here today on a fairly chilly day in Vancouver. The 12-degree mark. And Ireland have taken their chance when it has come their way. These two did meet in Rio. Ireland did get the better of Canada by 4-2. This is going their way again. Ireland, the mixed time of it when preparing for these matches, a couple of games against the French. And then they had 6 put past them without scoring against Belgium. Which can even happen to the very best. Coming up against the world and European champions. Froese has taken a tumble, and a green card has been awarded by our German umpire.
22.
Yes. Well, it's 22, in fact. Michael Robson.
Scott, please wait.
2 minutes. It is O'Donoghue.
Play on.
The Robson going over to sit down. It looks as though it was O'Donoghue who made the challenge. Player out for 2 minutes anyhow for Ireland.
Put on the line.
Cargo gets on with things.
Don't worry.
Some airtime here, which Canada can take control of with Johnston. Been in the national team 3 years now, Gordon Johnston. He is somebody who is a key cog in the machine.
Still in.
Encouraging from Canada here as the crowd just start to respond as well. There goes O'Donoghue. He's got the decision as well. Ireland's all-time top scorer,
Come on, guys, hurry up.
Shane
please.
O'Donoghue.
Play on. Nah, stick.
Fortunate that he didn't touch it with the foot there. Johnston, although he has been penalised. There's Cargo.
Sorry.
Good pressure from the Canadian defence. Some of the great names already qualified for the Tokyo Games, with Argentina, who beat Canada in the Pan Am final. The Pan Am Games earlier this year. In fact, Canada had won every game until they were unfortunately beaten in the final to Argentina. Fired across. Good defensive positioning. And Ireland have got out of a pretty tight spot pretty well. Canada doing their bit to keep it in play through Suki Panesar. Where's he going to go with here? Game day routine, incidentally, for Suki Panesar. Have a coffee, have a nap. Here he is again. Forward it goes. Need something before half-time, you feel, Canada. Ireland have been stubborn defensively. They've made life difficult for Canada to break them down. I think the advantage coming into this one, they'll have known that Canada will have come out of the traps well, but it's been a disciplined defensive performance so far from Ireland. Here's Jonathan Bell, their captain. Stop from the back again. Decision goes Balraj Panesar's way. Balraj Panesar was a member of the 2014 Youth Olympic team who won silver in the hockey fives. Nanjing, a terrific concept, a terrific competition it was at the Youth Olympics last year in Buenos Aires. It's gone against Cole. Certainly gives his opinion to Gareth Greenfield as it's touched on. Well, they're adamant something happened in there. And we're going to have a review here.
Diego? Diego? Can you look at that? And they're asking for a foot in the circle here.
Okay, Gareth.
Well, they've already had a successful review, Canada.
Can you play red?
Be hoping that they can have a second successful review here.
And can I see in the red?
Everybody holding their breath. It is Greg Clark, the assistant of Canada, on the sidelines. Paul Bundy was watching the match yesterday from upon high.
The red. Yeah, decision coming. Garrett, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
It
So
is
they're
a
hoping
foot
for a
of the
foot.
orange player, so therefore it's a penalty corner.
And it is to be a penalty corner to Canada. They are successful again.
Check everything again.
Just there. 2 out of 2 for Canada.
Come on, boys.
Here we go. And they've got it! Oh, how they needed it! From Johnston. Showing his class and quality. From a penalty corner again. Canada right back in this. A needed goal, certainly before half-time. And they've got it through Gordon Johnston, keeping it low. And this time Fitzgerald is beaten. Really good into that right corner. The perfect drag flick. Johnson, who is wearing that protective mask after he was struck in the face at the Pan Am Games. Gordon Johnston scoring from a penalty corner as he did yesterday. All 5 of his goals at the Pan Ams came from a penalty corner, including in the final against Argentina. Here he is. Bissett. 1-1. And so that is now 6-4 on aggregate to Ireland. Oh. As that was played in by Johnston just a little too recklessly. It's back to how it was really at the start of this, with Ireland with that 2-goal advantage. If it is to end up being level on aggregate at the end of 60 minutes, by the way, we will need a shootout. Here's cross for Ireland. No way through. Although taken over. And Ireland are going to get a penalty corner of their own here.
Just lost my whistle, so give it a little bit of time.
Just unlucky as it came off. So it's Logan perhaps. It's just come back off the stick and onto his foot. Unlucky.
Number 15.
10 to go. Five to go. Take the line, please. Good.
So Cargo to inject for Ireland. There's the trap, and the block is very, very successful.
I asked, long corner. You want a refill or not? Good.
Long corner, and that's all it will be. So quick off the line. It was Froese here. Might have just been asking the question as to whether it was a bit too high.
Okay, perfect. We will have a look. Guys, it's not your refill. So, Diego,
Let's have a look.
Ireland is asking for a foot. Can you have a look, please?
Okay, I'll check it.
Thank you.
And whether there might be a foot as well.
Yes, Master Sub.
Bang on, 7 minutes remaining. Hope of a foot here, so they can get another penalty corner.
Or I'm not seeing. Can you show me another?
Still not getting the right angle here, it seems. Here we go. It's Connor Hart with the flick. So they're saying that it was a foot, but how high was this from Hart?
I have
First
a
defender
decision for
first.
you. There's a dangerous ball, so it's a free out.
It's gonna
and
go against them.
Ireland lose the throw.
I think they've got that bang on.
Wait. Scott, please wait. Please wait. Okay, thank you.
So if we go then. Got one back as Canada come forward themselves here. Von Son into the circle, they are Canada. And they're going to get a penalty corner. Floris Von Son in the thick of things. Immediate appeals towards Gareth Greenfield. And from one end, now they have a chance at the other Canada. And they've been successful already.
Let's go, boys. 10 seconds.
Twenty penalty corners have been scored already across the weekend. It's Topper. He is denied. Gets another try here. And they'll have another opportunity with another PC. Although Ireland are not totally convinced.
We've both seen it.
No. Just one. You have to go. Sorry, you have to go. No, you have to go. No. You can't refer because it's penalty corner. Just go and stop. Sorry, mate.
Straight in.
Pressure to soak up here for Ireland.
Violent.
It's going to be Pereira, who was so effective with that sort of routine yesterday. His own trap to take it into the circle, and he fired home. Mixing it up a little bit more by Canada.
Long corner.
It's only going to be a long corner.
Ball is coming.
Touch back into the circle, able to take aim. Just a little nudge away on the post.
Play on.
It's Bissett.
My mistake, guys. It's a free.
My mistake. It's an overrule of his own decision here from Ben Kenton.
Yeah, it's a dangerous ball, guys. My mistake. So, go on. Come on, go. Thank you very much, guys. Okay. Oh, sorry. No.
Logan.
Accidental.
Pereira. It's a halfway again. It's going to get there first. Those in red are going to get there first.
Play, nothing.
Nothing wrong with that, says Gareth Greenfield. Canada have won it back as they approach the edge of the circle.
Just obstruction from you.
Obstruction has been called by the officials, and it all breaks down for the Canadians. Not a 7-week preparation. Energy has been good, according to Paul Bundy, a nation with a world ranking of 10. He was talking about how he felt that they were maybe just a little bit nervous yesterday to play at home, when usually away from home the occasion might have just got to his team, he says. Everybody has to be present today, says Paul Bundy. And the early setback in the 6th minute being cancelled out by Johnston. A wonderful goal it was for Ireland from John McKee. Hart plays it to Cross. It's away from Von Son. Kako can't link up with Cross. And it breaks down for Ireland.
Gabe needs one. So who's ever ready first?
Final 3 minutes. It is tight, it is tense. It's across.
Say. Yeah, you got it.
Played his 250th game in the warm-ups.
Yeah.
Again, we're up.
The 6-0 loss to Belgium the other week. By O'Donoghue. Just going to get each other's way there. McKee and Cross. And Canada were able to pinch something before the break. Have a fascinating second half, but here come Ireland. Here come Ireland on the reverse. It's a big save. It is to be a penalty corner for Ireland. Anthony Kindler doing all he could to keep the initial effort out. And is it Ireland who are going to have the final say?
To go.
Save again from
10.
Kindler.
Be ready in 5, please.
Playing
Come on, guys.
at his hometown of Vancouver, Anthony Kindler. Oh, what a block. But that is going to hurt. Adam Froese.
You need the physio?
I mean, right in the ribs. This. In fact, it's the thigh, isn't it? Right in the thigh. The speed and the pace and the ferocity of that flick. A nice big bruise on that thigh in the morning, but there's real concern here, has to be said, for Adam Froese. Concern on the faces of some of the Canadian supporters as well. Froese on his feet, that's good to see. Grew up in Australia, he's got a real Canadian-Australian twang to his accent. Adam Froese, father is Canadian.
You've got the midfield.
And off he goes. Just a minute and a half or so to go. Johnston for Canada, up to halfway. To the left side here for Balraj Panasa. Can't link up with Hugarthia. Well taken down by Robson. He takes it on himself against 3. And gets the free hit. Encouraging for Ireland. O'Donoghue here. What could he find? Well, that's the block. The first defender of Canada. Great from O'Donoghue. Oh, that's sluggish. It really is. It's something that can be avoided, really, for Canada, as Ireland just run down the clock here with 20 seconds remaining. Attempted cross is blocked and blocked well. And that is going to be that for the first half. Gordon Johnston's penalty corner, important to bring Canada back into this contest, with Ireland having taken the lead. So it's 1-1. And at half-time on aggregate, it is 6-4 Ireland still with that 2-goal advantage at half-time.
You guys are just contesting for the skills. You guys win a pair of sneakers, whoever's the one coming out on top. So what we're going to do is shoot at the net, and then you're going to have to move to the back and shoot again from the further post.
So that was the best of the action of the first half so far. Finally poised. Canada 1, Ireland 1, but on aggregate, it is advantage Ireland 6-4. They lead. If it stays like this, they are going to Tokyo. It has been so closely fought, but Canada have had their moments to try and shine again here in Vancouver. Cypress Provincial Park in the distance. It's to reaching the heady heights of being amongst the elite at the Olympic Games next year. The ultimate prize for Canada or Ireland. And Canada really have to have a big second half now if they can overturn a 2-goal difference, effectively back to where we were at the start of this one. The first goal courtesy of John McKee from open play on 6 minutes for Ireland. Then Gordon Johnston leveling things on 21 minutes with a routine penalty corner for him. They have had a number of chances from other penalty corners as well. Have not been able to take those moments. The saves of David Fitzgerald with the Irish goal. Could be more for Canada, worse for Ireland. Hockey continuing to try and grow in Canada. Of course, ice hockey prevalent in this country. what it would do if Canada were to get to yet another Olympics. Kindler making his way into goal, getting ready. And Johnston has just breathed a little bit of life and hope into this Canadian side. Smiles from Fitzgerald at the moment. He's made some important stops. Huge half an hour to come. 2 quarters, which will determine who goes to the Tokyo Olympics in 2020. Still seems so far away. The preparations will start pretty imminently, I suspect. Of course, there is still so much work to be done in this one for Ireland. Smiles from Greg Clark and Mark Tumilty. Starting some communication. They're going to approach this in the second half. Here we go. 1-1, and as you can see, 6-4 in aggregate to Ireland. Which way is the pendulum going to swing? It's the Canadian and Irish women's team are going to be coming up against each other in qualifiers next week in Dublin. Seems to be a wonderful occasion for a big crowd to see that in. Scott Tupper going direct, hoping for an attacking touch.
Okay, play. My right.
Oh, nearly won it back.
Play on, play on.
Play on, but that was a definite foul conceded there by Wallace.
Yeah, I think so.
Sean Murray, we haven't really seen too much of him. That's what we saw of him yesterday. This goal is so important in this one, you feel. It would be utterly deflating for Canada. Should it be Ireland who get the next one? If they were to get the next one, Canada, goodness me, we would have a real tie on our hands. Free hit going Canada's way. A country who tended to alternate between either not qualifying or being able to qualify for an Olympic Games back to 1996, really. Doesn't happen too often that they go to back-to-back Olympic Games. It's only happened once for Canada. Bissett's doing really well here to persevere. Get a long corner here, Canada. Use the channels.
Play on, no danger for me. You want to go? Okay, no.
Another long corner. Throws and he goes! Oh, big moment. Big, big opportunity for Canada. Van Song got something on this. Been looking at 2-1. Oh. So fine are the margins. It's scored since the pool stages of the World Cup against India. Floris van Son.
Yeah. Come on, 5. Yep. First one.
Canada have got it back. Things need to start changing soon for the Canadians, otherwise that plane ticket will be Ireland's. Jackson. One of the team who won bronze at the Euros back in 2015, 2016 Rio Olympian as well. The reach of McKee.
Out here, guys. Canada, where we're out, Thank you.
Still plenty of time. We've seen so many twists and turns throughout the weekend. How things can change so quickly. Deep into the corner. Be a long corner. There is Jackson again. Feature at the World Cup after a 6-month break from the game. He just said I needed the break. And the way of figuring out to balance hockey and his job as well.
Sorry. My bad. Yeah, my bad. Mine. Half time. Sorry, guys. Forget about that half time.
Balraj Panasa. Throw seems to have overcome the blast to the thigh he took at the end of the first half.
Yep.
Now Tupper. It's not the reach of Johnston. He's done well to retrieve it though. Johnston finds it in! Oh, big goal! Big goal! For Canada! That was all about Johnston there. And full credit to Canada. They've kept their nerve. And they have taken their chance when it has come their way. In from Johnston, just needed to be guided home, and it was from Oliver Schofield. Reduces the arrears, now back to 1. How important a moment could that turn out to be? Playing scored 5 times at the recent Pan Am Games. He included a hat-trick in a victory over Peru where they won 14-1. Just creates a little bit of doubt in the minds of Ireland now, as Canada are hungry for more. Oh, Garcia can't keep it in. Ireland will just need to keep their heads, their discipline too. As Canada are going to be coming right for them now. Jackson down the line, into the corner they come. Ireland attacking the circle.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Apologise.
Plenty to think about now for Mark Tumulty. And in the circle, close to the baseline is. It's kept in. Was it? No.
Got it.
here has just changed a bit.
Have you seen the stick tackle before the free?
Experience of Tupper and Johnston at the back, looking to start things. To be for Hugo Garcia, penalised. Space there is between defence and attack. And it all comes to a disappointing end. Just been a case of fire off the ball from Cargo. One side to the other.
I can't see him standing there, eh? Right.
Your call.
Son. Taken down, and Income Island stopped in their tracks again. Canada, they've always been built on a real defensive culture. Something that Bundy is trying to change as well is to incorporate a more attacking feel to their play. They seem as a defensive team, really. Seeing their defensive discipline. Another one for Canada. They will level the aggregate score. As we're pushing the bag there. And Duncan, it's gone against him. I think there was a trip there. They got away with that, Canada. 4.5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Canada 2, Ireland 1. 5-6 on aggregate.
Maybe 6.
It's a nice turn. Needs to get a shot away. The loose ball is picked up by Ireland in the circle. Towards goal it goes. And once more, Anthony Kindler is foiling Ireland. First of all here. It's an important block on Karuta. Getting on with things quickly here are Ireland. But the follow-up was well saved. Enough for the first time Anthony Kindler's been called into action in this one. Here's Bell for Ireland. As the Canadian voices are being heard. Oh, how good is that inside your own circle? Suki Panasa. Irish free head. Fighting from cross.
Just wait.
Long corner to Ireland. Looking to find the gaps, find the space. Find the cross. Had to be careful. Kept his cool. Just handing it right back to Ireland. Just a little rush from the Canadians. Cross. And it goes, well taken down, and Carefully, Ireland can bring it away.
2 minutes left.
Approaching 2 to go in this third quarter. And this is far from done, you feel. On. The progress able to be made down the left. Johnston has a look up. It's the corner, well gathered. Oh, Ireland are going to get the free hit as well. It's just a little clumsy from Kirkpatrick. Here's Murray. This idea from Matthew Nelson. The fringes today, Nelson, he was in the first game. Same can be said for Sean Murray also. Another free hit. And another one.
40 seconds.
Yeah, thank you. Take five, guys, it's not 5.
It's going to make for an intriguing final quarter, isn't it? Oh, and just nudged away by Nelson.
Jonathan, not in this way. Go away, just you.
He took it.
No, that's a yellow card. That's
A
straight
yellow card.
guys. No, he's going forward. Yeah, wait.
Well, it all just needs to calm down a little bit
You go
here.
off. You go off.
With just a second remaining. Greenfield's come across to have a word as well.
Guys, we have... Yeah, so the free is over there.
What about the push? Is there anything there?
So, let's go.
The card has been brandished.
0.4.
Seat yourself here.
Yeah.
This was fairly cynical. So they just look to get on with the free hit here. Oh, there you go.
Don't do it again, please, okay? Yeah, don't do it. Come on. You know it.
So, Ireland are going to have a man in the bin for 5 minutes. This is going to go direct. But the whistle had already been blown. That should be it. And that is it for the third quarter. Well, Schofield's goal has really given some belief to Canada that they can overturn this. One more to level the aggregate score Canada need. And what a final quarter we have in store. Don't go anywhere. Canada 2, Ireland 1. Ireland in front 6-5 on aggregate.
We still have greens for Ireland and Canada, I think, yeah?
Congratulations goes out to the winner of our shootout competition halftime. They won a pair of best in shoes, best in waterproof, breathable, ridiculously comfy sneakers that have your feet all day long. For more, visit bestiefootwear.com.
So that was a moment for Floris Van Sant just before, in fact, Canada were able to level things. take the lead, I beg your pardon, as Johnston here, he created this. Firing it in, and Schofield, right place, right time to provide the finish. It's a lovely controlled finish, isn't it, from Schofield? They have looked a lot stronger defensively in the third quarter, second half overall for Canada. Except at times fairly open in the first half, but here we go. Canada getting us underway. 15 minutes. Ireland are from booking a place at the Olympic Games. Who is going to do it? Or are we going to be going to a shootout? If we can get one more, 3-1 will take us there. Here is Jackson for Ireland. Smith is first to it, and getting the free hit and getting on with things quickly. It's a free hit to Canada. Just gone down well with the vast majority, led by Wallace.
Guys, keep it easy here. I have my eye on you.
Johnston now. Ooh, be careful.
I don't want to set you off.
Johnston, little flicker on.
First is one. It's done.
Garcia. His foot, he came off first. He's played in Europe.
That's the last
Gabriel
one.
Garcia
No
with
time
in
wasting.
Germany and
Next time, if it's
Spain
wrong,
with Club de Campo.
reverse. So now don't do it.
Tupper. Ooh.
You
And
and
another
you.
card is going to be brandished here as well.
You need the physio? It's number 16 and number 18. Both for the same. Come on, please. Number 18, come here. No, we made it
Patrick
clear.
is-
You for the push, yeah, the yellow one. You for the push, the yellow one as well.
Wallace
And
and
it's both
O'Donoghue.
five. No, I give a whistle over there for the
Numbers
first
are coming
one,
together.
and then that happens. So it's
O'Donoghue.
a free for Canada.
And then
it's
Wallace has been penalised for that push as well.
Ah,
Mangerton is not hanging around when it comes to dishing out the cards and handing down a bit of discipline to the players.
5 minutes. 5 minutes for both.
Not messing around at all.
At fives.
Yeah, wait.
Ireland now with 2 in the bin for 5 minutes. Canada just the 1. Johnston to the baseline.
Nothing wrong. Play on, play on.
Happy for things to carry on here. It has gone out of play.
Connor, you okay?
Yeah, it's good, mate. Well done. Well managed.
Bit of space here for Johnston. So very nearly the perfect weighted pass. Garcia scrambling, looking to win this back from Murray. To the edge of the circle at the other end for Ireland. Oh, and it's just behind cross. And now Canada can bring it away with players off the pitch. It might just open things up a little bit more now. Here's Bissett. Comes to nothing in the end for Canada.
Ball on the far side.
Okay, thank you.
One back again by those in red. Bissett to the right. Herrera, he finds him. They're into the circle now. Penalty corner to Canada. Well, these are the moments, and these are the times where Canada really need to be taking their chances. Just over 10 minutes remaining in the overall contest. And it's come off the foot of Sean Murray.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Come on, hurry up. 5 seconds. Outside.
It's going to be Herrera. Didn't really grasp it, did he? It's a bit of a waste as well for Canada at such a point in the match.
Don't worry.
Every penalty corner needs to be taken advantage of. Herrera knew straight away as he hit that, and he was raised.
Play on.
Cargo. Really
Just
right
outside,
at the
yeah,
very
that's
edge of
it.
the circle outside.
Yeah?
Gonna be a
No,
free
it
hit.
happened outside. Guys, come on.
Stop time. Stop time.
Come on.
Henry
come
Duncan
on.
comes on.
Right, enough, eh? We just keep playing. Hey? You seen nothing
All
there,
good.
eh?
All good.
Yeah.
No, no.
Okay.
No, all good.
Just wait. Time's off.
It's into an area which is going to frustrate Canada, really.
It's long corner.
Ireland where they want to be, despite the fact that they are behind on the scoreline here in this second match. But important thing is that they are ahead still on aggregate. Wide it goes. 3 and green inside the circle. Canada have pinched it back. The stretch was Connor Hart, gets the free hit as well. And the reverse.
Play on.
Takes away despite High, able to play on here. Murray. But with Bissett.
Long corner.
Long corner it will be for Ireland. They'll just slow things
Take
down
the
as
ball.
well, I'm sure.
Thank you. Come on, boys! Okay. Let's go!
Jackson. Is it to be Irish joy here in Vancouver today?
Yeah.
There's some celebrations, I'm sure.
Second yellow card, Ireland. Which number?
Pardon?
The second
Ireland
yellow
have.
card, Ireland. Which number?
One of their players back from a yellow card.
Number 8.
And, with 8 minutes
16. Okay.
to save themselves. To potentially take us to a shootout. I'm sure they will take that at this very moment. And this frustration. Anna Hart
You're right.
Starts things for Ireland. Forward he goes. Loose ball to be picked up here by Canada. And Cargo doing his bit to try and win it back.
Burn, burn, burn!
Oh, it's a lovely turn. Okay, Patrick.
Play on.
Stick, stick.
Play on.
Back off the stick according to the umpires, although Canada have got the decision now. Let's go to the edge of the circle. It's seen away by Ireland now. Murray.
Play on. Play on.
It's Johnston with the challenge, and they've won it back again, Canada.
It's okay. It's okay, nothing.
Nothing in that, according to the umpires. And they'll force back in Canada. Oh, Garcia. Against Cargo. Panesar, Suki Panesar sprays it out to the left, and they've just got to be careful that they don't push too hard here, Canada now. Sormento unable to keep that in. Was a part of the Pan Am group. Chance for Ireland here. The angle is tight. Oh, big save from Kindler. How important a save could that turn out to be? They were struggling for numbers. Were Canada defensively?
I think
that's a huge moment. Huge, huge moment. Eugene McGee on the backhand, and great stretch. Really good from Kindler. Keeps Canada in it. Johnston. His goal brought Canada back on level terms after the early McKee goal. Inside the final 5 minutes now. Back for Johnston again. Tupper. Johnston offers the support.
guys, keep it sensible here. I don't want to send you off.
And at the final touch there, it will be an out for Ireland. Here come Ireland here, looking to put the game to bed. It's gone out to play. And run out by the Irish. Just needs a little bit more urgency, a little bit more tempo from Canada, with time very much against them. Panesar. He's got cross his way. A cross will take it into the corner for Ireland as they advance. The next goal comes for them. That's game over. Hart. Now Jackson. Turn of direction from Jackson.
3 minutes here.
Side in here for Robson. So just running out of space. Denying Ireland the chance for a long corner as well. Encouraging from Canada, but tick-tock.
I think it's you.
There's going to be a change here, I think.
I was waiting for that, so I was prepared.
I was watching as well.
Okay, whenever you are.
The change. Well, they're going for it. They are going for it now. Oh, Canada having sacrificed the goalkeeper.
In the circle, four players.
Will it prove effective now for Canada? That's Tupper.
What's your circle?
They are compact, our Ireland defensively here.
Got it.
With 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah. Number 7, Green.
They can make themselves a hero for Canada.
So now you.
Tupper.
Stick.
It's a good block from O'Donoghue. Taken over now by Kirkpatrick. Free hit, which Tupper is not hanging around with. Johnston. In he goes. And it's been raised off a Canadian stick. Garcia. Schofield potentially just a little too dangerous in that. Inside 90 seconds. Canada really going for it now, but they've got to move it with a bit more urgency. But full credit to Ireland, who are packed in. As we approach 60 seconds now. Now or never, really, for Canada. Oh, it's going to be a long corner. With the restart. And it goes, and it's wide. And Ireland will take their time.
It's good. Everybody's 5. You? Play on? Okay.
Taken down here. And now Cargo. Into the corner to run down the time. Which way is that going to go?
Play on.
Canada, one last chance. One last push now for Canada. Can they make something happen in the most dramatic way? Ireland standing firm. Oh, now then. Well, there might just be a referral. There might just be a referral. The celebrations for Ireland, they think it's... They think that it is time.
I saw your video, guys.
Oh, what a finish to this one. What a finish.
Jonathan, take your players away, please.
For me, there's nothing there.
So, no, come here. Guys, everybody is going away. Was the whistle before something or after?
It was only after this. It was after. Sorry, the whistle was after on the back line here.
So the whistle was after the back line? Guys, please give us space. No. Please, no. Please give. Yeah, and I will tell you, but please go away. I'll come back.
Yeah, for me, time is up. There's nothing there.
Okay.
We haven't seen it in front of him, so.
Me either.
Yeah.
So for me, stay on.
Yeah.
But
if they want to challenge that, we let them.
Okay. So.
Wow, what a moment.
Well,
They're asking for something before the whistle.
No, it's not true.
So that. Just.
This is huge.
No, not you, Jonathan.
No.
I've got a word with the captain.
He's going to talk to you,
So they can challenge whatever they want before the whistle went.
Yeah, can you ask
That
them
we
to
will
make
check.
sure that the whistle is heard on the video?
That is what we will
He
check.
may not hear the whistle on
Yeah,
the video.
that is
but
what
the
we
whistle
check.
did go before. Yeah.
The ball was inside the 23 before the whistle went, so they can ask everything before the whistle.
When the whistle went.
So they're going to check pretty much everything here.
No.
It's all about when the whistle went
Time's gone.
They can
and whether
review
time
everything
was
what
up
went before the
already.
Final whistle is gone.
Yes.
The final
Yes.
whistle is gone.
That's it.
Here we go.
So,
Over to you, Diego Barbas. No pressure here.
so what do you want to ask?
We're saying it was a body tap in the D.
Okay. So, Diego.
Yes.
They are asking for a body tackle in the D before the whistle has gone. Can you have a look, please, if there is a tackle and when the whistle gone?
Okay, I will check it.
This is massive. Two huge calls this as to whether there was a body tackle. But when, if there was one, when did it occur? And that is what Diego Barbas is going to be looking at. And there is a real hushed silence around Riddlish Field. To listen to when the whistle was blown. So the whistle did go, but it looked as though Wallace had been fouled just there, if it is to be a foul, before the whistle perhaps.
Yeah, it's him.
Straight away they're appealing for a referral, weren't they, Canada? Everybody holding their breath. How much is there in that from Cole's challenge on Wallace? Who would be a video umpire at this stage when there is so much on the line as well? Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an infraction of the 29 of Ireland. So there's a penalty stroke.
Penalty stroke. Ben Gurnton wants to make sure that he's heard correctly.
Can you please check if the whistle went before or after?
Whistle was after the infraction.
Incredible.
Sorry?
The whistle was after the infraction. So there's a penalty stroke.
Penalty stroke. Okay.
Penalty stroke. The last play. This is it for Canada. And should they score this, we're going to a shootout. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Guys, please go.
Massive call from Diego Barbas. Look at the time in the bottom left corner of your screen.
But he's falling down, but it's only a...
That's a decision by the umpire. Video umpire, please go. So please take your line.
This is it.
Come on. Go.
Scott Tupper against David Fitzgerald.
Guys, on my whistle, you're ready.
Right, on the line.
Here goes Tupper. He's done it! He has done it for Canada! Absolutely extraordinary.
Oh, thanks for your
Talk about holding your nerve. And Tupper has done just that. What a finish. And so, 6-6 on aggregate. The captain leading the way. And Canada, who pushed and pushed in this second half. Wow. Oh, wow. Amazing scenes here in Vancouver. So Canada winners by 3-1 after 60 minutes, 6-6 on aggregate. and still we need to determine who is going to Tokyo.
With the two teams tied after 2 games, the FIA Georgia qualifier will
Well,
go to a shootout.
Mark Tumulty, he's now got to get his players in the right frame of mind. Canada were pushing and pushing in the fourth quarter to make something happen, to make this happen. Ireland having their moments as well. This in particular from McGee, a huge save from Anthony Kindler. We said, didn't we, when he made that save, how big a moment overall could it turn out to be? And then extraordinary drama at the end. Here, Wallace sent tumbling just before the whistle was blown to finish the game, and so a penalty stroke was awarded, and Tupper keeping his cool big time. Unbelievable drama here in Vancouver. And we are still not done yet. Do not take your eyes off this. Remember, the ultimate prize after this is a place at the Olympic Games. Who goes to Tokyo? Who will be staying at home? The way that Tupper kept his cool to put away that penalty stroke. Extraordinary mentality, being able to do that. It's such a pressurized situation.
Ireland start with a shot, with the ball.
They made the worst possible start, didn't they? Having gone behind in the 6th minute, Ireland extending the lead further that they had before Johnston then brought Canada back in to the match. Schofield and then Tupper with the final play of the match, and so a shootout is going to be needed. So Canada are making a change in goal, so we're going to see David Carter come on in. And David Fitzgerald will be the man in the way of Canada for Ireland. Johnston will be the first in this shootout. A shootout to conclude an extraordinary afternoon of hockey here in Vancouver. Johnston, here he goes. Taking it forward, up against Fitzgerald. And Fitzgerald has denied him, but Johnston with the rebound in the nick of time as well.
You want to check it? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, it's too late. Wait. I do it.
Score of a penalty corner today and yesterday. Johnston. Ireland's turn now. It's going to be Eugene McGee, and he's done it. Terrific and confident from Eugene McGee, and the first two in the shootout have been successful.
Striker.
The cruelest way to decide who goes to Tokyo in a shootout. Suki Panesar. Which way is he going to go? Oh, he's put it wide. He has put it wide. The first miss of the shootout. Panesar just biding his time one way and then the other. On the wrong side of the goal for him.
Striker, goalie.
Ireland with the opportunity to take advantage here. John McKee, who scored the opening goal of this contest in this second match. As cool as you like, and it's advantage Ireland here. Took his goal so well in regulation time. And he's taken his moment there as well.
Striker, goalie.
Canada on their third attempt.
That's a obstruction.
Clear
That's
obstruction.
You want to change? Or you want to go for video? If you want, video. If you want. You want a video or not?
Fitzgerald is
Yes or no?
pretty certain about it. And Keegan Pereira.
Good.
Well, straight away, Ben Gurnton blew his whistle. He's just looking to shield things before then, making up his mind what he was going to do, but colliding with the goalkeeper. Oh, there's the save, but the opportunity to put it in, and it has been. Ireland now in complete control of this shootout.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's 3-1.
Okay.
And it's the fourth player.
Carter racing off his line. What can Wallace do here?
Striker.
Next up for Canada, needs must that he converts. Wallace against Fitzgerald. Against the clock as well. Wallace, that's a lovely finish. Oh, that is superb. Just about keeps them alive. Talk about keeping you cool here from Wallace. The disappointments previously for Pereira's goal ruled out for obstruction. Here goes Robson now. Robson, has he got away from him? It's the first miss for Ireland. 2-3 we are. Adam Froese.
Striker.
Next up for Canada. Forward he comes. Froese just biding his time and finishing with a plum. And he did that. 3-3. But still, Ireland.
Striker, goalie.
They have the opportunity here through O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue, oh, it's been denied! Incredible from David Carter.
So Ireland is starting now.
Ireland failing to convert their final two. And we will go on in the shootout. Wonderful stop from David Carter. So here we go again. Eugene McGee. Successful already in this shootout. And he goes again. McGee up against Carter. Oh, that's really, really good. This is pressure now. This is pressure. Johnston. Fitzgerald just
Striker.
making him wait.
Goalie.
Here he goes, Johnston. Sudden death now. Johnston, which way is he going to go? Oh, he squeezes it in. Well, when you need a little bit of luck, why not in a sudden death shootout?
Striker.
Oh, I'm sure his heart was in his mouth there. Here comes McKee. Oh, now then. What an error. What an error. Advantage Canada now. How cruel could it be if that is the moment where Ireland's dreams of going to the Olympics fade? Throws now.
Striker. Goalie.
Tumulty can barely watch. Canada for the victory. Still, he's done it! Canada are going to Tokyo! And just for the second time ever, they will be at the Olympic Games, back-to-back Olympic Games. And they've done it in the cruelest way. But it's not over just yet. It is not over just yet.
Asking for backstick. Can you have a look, please?
Oh, now then. Backstick. Was there a backstick? Is this an appeal in hope more than anything for Ireland? Everybody just needs to calm down a little. He's already made one massive decision as our video umpire. A decision to award Canada a penalty stroke with the final play of the match. No clear reason to change the decision.
Gareth, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Well done.
And the roar says it all. It stands. Ireland have been beaten in the cruelest way in a shootout. A victory for Ireland yesterday has been overturned by Canada today. And dreams of going to an Olympic Games again have come true once more. What an afternoon in Vancouver. Quite extraordinary what we have seen here. Ireland can't believe it. They cannot believe it. Absolute heartbreak for those in Emerald Green. And Canada have turned this around. They had a 3-goal lead at one point in this second match on aggregate. But everything that could happen did happen, and despair for Ireland. And just too much for some, Lee Cole in particular. Tears of joy, I'm sure, for Canada. You have to go back to the 80s, the last time that they represented Canada at the Olympic Games, in back-to-back Olympic Games. And Ireland can't believe it. They just cannot believe it. A long way from home they will feel here. This will be some celebration in Vancouver tonight that they will be joining the elite in Tokyo.
The Olympic qualification presentation.
Look to try and make amends, look to try and improve on the 11th finish in Rio. Never bettered finishing 9th at an Olympic Games. But they will be going to Tokyo at the expense of Ireland after the most dramatic finish to a hockey match you will ever see. And the contrast in emotion. They kept on going, did Canada. Full credit to the character of this side, who never gave up. And a big moment in the match, this save from Anthony Kindler. Just before they went down the other end, Canada. Kindler, who's then replaced for the shootout. Then Wallace was sent tumbling. The last play, a penalty stroke was awarded just before the whistle was blown. Tupper put it away. Nerves of steel. And then we went to a shootout into sudden death, and it would be Canada who would eventually prevail. Cue the celebrations, cue the emotion. Adam Froese, the hero of the shootout at the most crucial point. Taking in the applause, taking in the celebration. And I don't think they can quite believe what has happened. So the stats and facts, Canada 3-1 winners, taking it just about to a shootout. It was pretty even, Ireland with the better of the possession. Penalty corners, look at that, 8-2 for Canada. Your card shown as well throughout, it just added to the drama really. And we will try and get some reaction to what we have just seen. Gordon Johnston is ready to talk to us, I think. Here he is.
Gordy, an Olympic ticket and in the most dramatic fashion possible. What is going through your mind right now?
I'm so happy for the guys. What a performance today. Everyone all over the pitch did everything that they ever could, and it got us there today. At the end of the day, I mean, guys were running down corners. They were making stuff happen up front. They were blocking shots. It was one heck of a performance, and I was so proud of the guys.
What was going through your mind through the shootout, you putting in 2 goals today?
I had a lot of confidence because we've been there before. We've done this